How did I not know about this? Why didn't I start sooner? Why didn't I listen when someone said wear sunscreen? It's too late. I think I'm stuck with this. Now what do I do? There's so much information on the internet. I am so confused. In my 50s, I woke up one morning, I looked in the mirror, and I had seemingly aged overnight. I did not even recognize myself. I looked about 10 years older, and I cannot tell you how many of you have shared this similar story. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 beginner skincare mistakes you don't want to make if you're starting skincare at 50. On top of this shocking realization that my skin had gone through these major changes seemingly instantly, were these feelings of regret, knowing that I was probably partially responsible, whether knowing or not, for all these texture changes, all this pigmentation, these fine lines, because I had neglected my skincare for years. I was really feeling regretful. And why didn't I know? And why didn't anybody tell me? And why didn't someone teach me about this? And now I'm stuck with this and there's nothing I can do. I was so frustrated because I felt like I was stuck with this face that looked 10 years older than I actually felt. And I'm here to tell you the first beginner skincare mistake you can't make is thinking that it's too late. It is never too late to start your skincare. Even at 50, you can start a great skincare routine that is literally going to make changes to your skin, and you can do it starting today. The second biggest mistake that I made when starting skincare at 50 was not understanding the role of biology in the changes that were happening in my skin. We teach teens that all their hormones are raging and that they're going to have some major skin changes that they may need to address. Nobody tells you about this, that this is also going to happen at 50. Or around 50. Nobody tells you that menopause is going to cause these drastic changes to your skin. So learning about the fact that menopause was causing a lot of these changes, it was causing approximately in the first 5 years around 30% loss in collagen and elastin. So if you don't know, and I didn't, collagen gives the bounce to our skin and elastin gives the snapback. So you literally lose 30% of your collagen and elastin, the structure of your skin. So much has to do with the biological and physiological changes that we're going through menopause, the hormone depletion, the bone loss and reabsorption as we get into our wiser years are all contributing very subtly over this 5-year period to a very aged look to our skin around 50. That was hugely empowering to know that this was just part of the natural aging process. It's just that nobody ever told me. So getting some control back, understanding the hormonal changes, why you're having more hollowness under your eyes, why these little frown lines are really prominent, why all these spots are appearing on the sides of your face and in places where you've never seen them before, and the textural changes. The other thing that might happen is your skin can go through a major change. Everybody has a skin type that they're kind of born with: dry skin, oily skin, normal skin, T-zone oiliness. That is pretty much consistent from the time that you're young, but we do go through all these hormone fluctuations in our teens. Some people get acne, some people don't. I had never had a breakout ever in my life until I hit menopause. I had no idea what to do. I had dry skin. I might have had 1 or 2 pimples in my teens. I put some benzoyl peroxide on, my skin blew up and broke out, and so I just dealt with the 1 or 2 pimples that I had throughout that time. But in my menopausal years, I started getting breakouts, not just 1 or 2 pimples, but these clusters of pimples. And I was like, I have no idea what to do. You may experience changes in your skin that you have never dealt with before. Oilier skin, drier skin, breakouts. So that is to be expected. And I think if you get some control around that, you're kind of less freaked out about the type of skincare that you might want to look into during this sort of big 5-year period of change. Focusing on what's going on right now, what are your current skincare needs, what are your concerns, will help you narrow down which products to choose out of the millions of products that are available out there. And that leads me into the next biggest mistake that I made when starting skincare: buying too much skincare. You want to be very selective in the products that you choose, because if you don't do one product at a time, number one, you're never going to know what's working. Number two, it's going to be very hard to create a habit, because if you've never had a consistent skincare routine, then you're just probably not going to stick with it. It's been said that tiny habits build bigger habits. So start with a small, focused skincare routine as opposed to starting with a 5-step routine. Next is consistency. I just touched on that a second ago. In order to get results with skincare, you have to be consistent. And what does that mean? That means you need to buy a product and use it up unless it's causing a skincare reaction or it's just not agreeing with your skin. Use that product up until it's finished, or at least 3 to 4 weeks. You're not going to see skincare changes overnight. So that was another learning curve for me. I was like, oh, I've been using this a week, why isn't this working? And so I had to learn that with skincare products, it's consistency, consistency, consistency. This is the big one, understanding the importance of cleansing. I used to wash my skin in the shower with whatever was in the shower. True confession, I can't believe I did that, but I did. Whatever's in the shower, I got home from work, jumped in the shower, washed my face, got out, washed my hair, and I had no dedicated cleanser. I know right now that shocks me, but understanding the importance of cleansing is really critical to improving the look of your skin. I actually think this one step, along with sunscreen, we'll get to that, is the most critical thing that you need to do correctly in order to improve your skin. In the morning, I do not cleanse. The reason I do not cleanse is because my skin type is dry. In fact, now that I'm in menopause, my skin is extra, extra, extra dry. So for me, stripping off all those natural oils in the morning with a cleanse doesn't work. But at night, I double cleanse every single night. I tried a single cleanse and I was like, that's enough. This is just a waste of product, cleansing twice. Why use 2 products? And you don't need to. But why am I cleansing my face twice? I did a video about 100 years ago on the importance of cleansing because I discovered that after I started using a white cloth as opposed to just whatever towel was in the bathroom, I realized that I was still getting a considerable amount of debris off my face. That cloth was still dirty not after my second cleanse, after my first cleanse. So double cleansing is really important. I know people say, oh, it's not necessary, or oh, just skip it, just wash your face, you don't need to. There may be people that if you're not wearing sunscreen or if you're not wearing any makeup at all, a single cleanse might work. If your skin is super irritated, don't double cleanse at night. Just do a single, very gentle cleanse because you don't want to over irritate your skin, of course. So within reason, obviously, skip the cleansing in certain circumstances. If you have very dry skin, you don't really need a cleanse in the morning, maybe just a rinse. Or if your skin is super irritated, obviously the extra rubbing and double cleansing in the evening could be too much. But in general, double cleanse. You want to use that first cleanse, either a balm or an oil to emulsify it all, break all that debris, pollution, skincare, makeup, all that needs to come off at the end of the day. Overnight, your skin is going to be busy repairing and replenishing, and you want to get all the debris off so that your body can do the best it can to renew your skin overnight and give you fresh skin in the morning so that you can begin an awesome skincare routine. So double cleanse at night as appropriate. And I highly encourage, if you wear makeup or sunscreen, double cleanse every night. You are probably sick to death about hearing about this skincare mistake, not wearing sunscreen. I know. Wear your sunscreen. But honestly, that wasn't a thing growing up. And you, if you're in your 50s like I am, you know that nobody mentioned wear your sunscreen. Every day, rain or shine, we went to the beach, we put sunscreen on. Every day, why would we put sunscreen on? Obviously, the education has gotten so much better. We know so much more about melanoma. We know so much more about how the UV light damages our skin, damages our collagen, increases pigmentation. We know so much more now. So just put away the regret about that and start wearing your sunscreen. Honestly, I'm telling you, if you only cleanse your skin properly and wear your sunscreen, you are going to do your skin a major favor. Even at 50, if you've never done it before, these 2 steps will really make a difference. I went whole hog. I learned a ton about skincare, and now I have a multi-step skincare routine, but I didn't start that way. I started with 2 to 3 steps. That's it. My mother too. She learned about the importance of skincare around the same time I did. She started wearing sunscreen daily and cleansing. I'm not sure she cleanses every night. I think she actually confessed that she cleanses in the shower still, but be that as it may, she has been wearing sunscreen, and this is my point. She has been wearing sunscreen since 64. We were both sun goddesses. She laid out with the Saint-Tropez, that orange paste. I did baby oil and iodine, so did she. We were sun worshipers. And that really damaged our skin. And we thought, well, that's it. There's nothing we can do. Wrong. If you start wearing sunscreen, no matter when, start doing it today, you are gonna actually change and revolutionize your skin. There have been some studies out there, I think it was around 2016. I will dig the study up, I will link it down below in the description, that shows that just wearing sunscreen helps your skin repair itself. Literally, giving yourself a break from the daily exposure to UV gives your skin an opportunity to self-repair. Kind of mind-blowing, but my mother is the perfect example. She's a little bit inconsistent on her cleansing, and she will admit that, but she wears her sunscreen religiously, minimum SPF 30 every day, and her skin looks fabulous. I am so impressed with the way her skin looks after just wearing sunscreen. If you're not wearing sunscreen and you do nothing else, and this is your very, very beginner skincare routine in your 50s, put on the sunscreen. You don't have to do anything else, literally. It has been shown that just wearing sunscreen will allow your skin to repair itself. So I know I'm on a bit of a soapbox here, so I'll move on. The next thing I want to share with you is not understanding, big mistake, not understanding the power of exfoliation. Exfoliating, I didn't even know what exfoliation was. St. Ives scrub, apricot scrub. Confess, I used that. Everybody was doing it, so I decided to do it, and it basically destroyed my skin. So it kind of put me off skincare as well. Anything that I tried that my friends were trying, the Stridex pads, the apricot scrubs, my skin would go into full inflammation. Now we have to relearn what exfoliation is, how it benefits our skin in our mature years. Exfoliation is the process of lifting this dead skin cells off of our skin to show the beautiful, bright, and glowy skin that we have underneath. Using a chemical exfoliant suited to your skin type and your skin concern will help lift off all those dead skin cells that just don't want to turn over. As we age, our skin doesn't turn over as quickly, and we kind of have this buildup of dead skin cells, which may be what you're experiencing when you look in the mirror and see that your skin is not as radiant. It's just more dull as you've gotten into your 50s. I experienced this. My skin was almost this sort of sallow yellow, but understanding the power of exfoliants, learning a little bit about that, not necessarily the first day that you start your skincare routine, but just putting that in the back of your mind that that's something you might want to give a try. Back to my teenage story, avoiding the trends. Avoid the trends at all ages. What works for one person is not going to work for another. So try to avoid the trends, pick up the ones that seem realistic, and avoid the trends that seem kind of ridiculous. So stick to a basic skincare routine when you're beginning. Don't look at the trends, don't follow the trends. You're just gonna lead yourself down into this rabbit hole, get super confused about what you're supposed to be using, how you're supposed to be using it, how does this fit into the routine. I am completely guilty of this. Oh, this new ingredient is out. I've got to run out and buy this. Oh, this new skincare product is revolutionary. It's gonna get rid of all my wrinkles, and I ran out and bought it. No, don't fall into the trap of the trends. The next mistake that I made was getting really complicated. Getting this 5-step skincare routine, even at the very beginning, that was a lot. Not understanding what went where and just getting confused. So keep it simple. That's my tip. Don't get too complicated. Keep your skincare super simple when you're starting. 3 products is more than enough to start with. If you're just starting out, if you get too complicated, you're not going to know what's irritating your skin. You're not going to know what's working. So keep it super simple when you're just starting out. Not getting your skin checks. I was guilty of this for years. I was sporadically getting a skin check. When I had a milia on my eye that was occluding my vision, I got my skin checked. And she's like, I need to do a full body check. And I was like, okay. And how often should I do this? She's like, yeah, come in every year. I got busy. I was working. I was a mom. I did not go in every year. Here's a tip for you. Your primary care physician here in the States can often do a preliminary skin check. So include it in your primary care appointment every year. If you don't have a separate dermatologist, just ask your primary care physician. I had to ask them. I did not know about this. My husband was actually the one that told me about it. You know, I think he said something like, well, I think somebody mentioned that our primary care physician does skin checks. And I was like, well, that's easy. It's just part of my yearly, physical. So ask your primary care physician if they have enough training in skin to do your preliminary check, and if they see anything suspicious, they'll obviously send you to a dermatologist. But last, number 1 tip, when you're beginning your skincare is don't skip those yearly checks. I hope you enjoyed today's video of these 10 mistakes you are now not gonna make if you're just beginning your skincare at 50. I know I haven't covered all the mistakes that you can make starting your skincare in your wiser years. So leave a comment if you have any questions for me about starting a skincare routine. Also, leave me a comment. I'm happy to help get you started. Also, if I don't have the answer, I will find someone that does. Thanks very much for watching and wishing you all a skintastic day.